What's up everyone? In today's video I would like to go over the biggest reason why your weight loss stalls. Now most people attribute a weight loss plateau due to a downregulation in metabolism, when in fact studies have shown that even on starvation types of diets, so people eating like 1500 calories and doing a lot of cardio, that in the worst cases metabolic rate only went down by about 10 to 20%, and once again, like I said, only in the most severe cases. So this means that a male with a metabolic rate of 2000 calories will only have a downregulation of between 100 up to 200 calories, which isn't much in the grand scheme of things. What we also have to note here is that differences between individuals in metabolic rate are rather small, so even between males and females. That is why more recent studies have been focusing on something called NEAT, which is the non-exercise energy expenditure. Those are things that you're rather doing unconsciously. And so what they found is that NEAT will differ largely between individuals. And if you think about it, we all know this one guy in high school that just can't sit still. He's always like moving around, whipping his leg, always full of energy and just can't hold still. Now the caloric burn of such activities might be very small, so it might only be like 1 to 2 calories per minute. But if you count that and combine all these different factors over a period of over a longer period of time, like a day or so, it will make a big difference. It can really make something for like up to 500 calories. Actually, in one study, they overfed people 1000 calories, so they entered 1000 calorie surplus, and NEAT ranged from minus 57 calories up to 700. So this means that those were actually women where the overfeeding of like 1000 calories resulted in them moving less. So their energy expenditure even went down slightly by, like I said, 57 calories. On the other end of the spectrum, there were people expending 700 calories more. So out of those 1000 surplus calories, their energy expenditure increased by 700 calories, simply because they felt more energized, moved around a lot, and therefore burned way more calories. So when you're dieting, what happens is that NEAT tends to go down significantly. And everyone that has been on very low calories, especially if you also combine this with a high amount of cardio, has experienced this, that you just feel really lethargic. You're sitting in the chair and the only thing you're thinking about is food. So you're very still, you're not really energized, you just feel tired all the time. And so what happens is that your NEAT will go down so much. This will show itself, for example, instead of using the stairs, because you're so tired, you're using the escalator. Instead of parking somewhere further away from the grocery store, you're trying to find the nearest parking place, the parking lot to the grocery store, so that you don't have to walk as much. And even when you're just sitting there, instead of holding yourself up, even when you're engaging in conversations, you're not really energized. It's quite the opposite. And if you combine all these things, it will down-regulate. So what your body is trying to do is, if you're, let's say, in 1000 calorie surplus, it will try to down-regulate your total energy expenditure by simply making you move less. So in order to bridge that gap, to make that deficit smaller, because your body doesn't like to lose fat tissue, which makes sense out of an evolutionary standpoint if you think about it. So now you might be asking yourself, okay Dino, I understood everything you said, but how is that gonna help me? And what you can do is simply by the fact that you now know what happens, you can of course not counteract that totally in most cases, but if you catch yourself doing these things, just remember what I told you. So if you catch yourself like being all lethargic or taking all these shortcuts, remind yourself that it is really important to keep that need high if you want to diet the most efficient way and keep your TDE, which is your total daily energy expenditure, elevated so that you can lose more fat and diet in a more efficient manner. So if you catch yourself like, oh, I'm gonna take the stairs today, no, don't do that. Try to, even when dieting, do the opposite. Try to move more, play around with your kids, be active, go to the grocery store by foot, skip the car. Try those things. But guys, this was it for today's video. I hope you got something out of it, especially the essence of it. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll be talking to all you guys in the next one. Germ gains, peace out.